So we're here beginning to walk the Via Dolorosa, which is traditionally the path of the Stations of the Cross. And this was something that was begun in medieval times to commemorate the path of suffering that Jesus walked as he marched toward his death. And so we're just going to begin walking. The first stop is actually, we're coming to it soon, is the Praetorium, which is Pontius Pilate's house. And the reason why this was begun was because not everybody, of course, can come to Jerusalem. Not many people can come. So the church leaders in the medieval times, they established this idea that there were 14 points at which commemorate Jesus's walk toward suffering and walk toward death on the cross. And traditionally in churches, these 14 stations are put upon the walls of the church so that parishioners could have an experience of coming to Jerusalem just within the walls of the church as they march through these stations of the cross and as they remember the 14 events that happened historically as Jesus walked toward Golgotha. So the first one that we're going to come to at the Praetorium is Pontius Pilate's house. And this is where we believe that Jesus was condemned to death. The second place is when Jesus carries his cross. That's the second station. The third station is Jesus falls the first time. The fourth station commemorates Jesus meeting his mother. The fifth station commemorates Simon the Cyrene carrying Jesus' cross, helping him carry the cross. And then the sixth station commemorates Veronica, Saint Veronica wiping the face of Jesus with a towel. This is a station that particularly has been meaning a lot to me recently as I've been researching who was Saint Veronica. And we're not quite sure except to know that many people believe that the story of the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' garment was also named Veronica. And there's some thought to think maybe that was the same Veronica. So that's the sixth station. And also to mention that sixth station, these are not all things that are found in the Gospels, but there are things found in church tradition that were historically associated with the walk that Jesus walked towards suffering and death. So the seventh station, Jesus falls the second time. The eighth station, Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. And it's interesting to me too how the Stations of the Cross, there's so many women that show up in them. Saint Veronica, the women of Jerusalem. The ninth station, Jesus falls the third time. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his garments. The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. The 12th station, Jesus died on the cross. The 13th station, Jesus is taken down from the cross. And the 14th station, Jesus is laid in the tomb. Some churches actually have a 15th station which commemorates the resurrection. And so, of course, that's what we believe because the story does not end in the tomb. It doesn't even end on the third day when he rose again. It continues on. Jesus ascends into heaven. He's coming again. So this is the path, the Via Dolorosa, the traditional path of suffering, the way of sorrows, the way that Jesus walked towards suffering and death.